Someone shared this video clip about Chinese dissident and citizen journalist Fang Bin, who bravely reported on the COVID outbreak in Wuhan, China, and called for all the Chinese people to stand up against the CCP. He hopes that Mr. Fang Bin will never be forgotten.
任何一个人的生存权、安全权，他都是在犯罪。公共卫生关系到权利人，可是你掩盖，而我照得相，你把我抓了，仍然歌舞升平。当兜不住了，又用粗暴、愚蠢的方法、野蛮的方法，高调宣称封城，一下造成人的恐慌。车站、机场人挤人，超市、商店人挤人，菜场人挤人，医院人挤人，有肺炎的人有肺炎，没肺炎的人满上了，而且传向了全中国全世界。这就是愚蠢的下场。是这种愚蠢的下场要我们来承担，这是什么理由？绝不干！我们要找寻真凶，你必须公开谢罪。他们只有对权力的傲慢，只有对金钱的贪婪，毫无人性。但是我不能不说，因为他不动我，他会动你们，会死去多少你们俩，会被关了多少陈小春？大家要清醒！你现在是在体制内的，还是体制外的？无论你是部队的还是公安的，你们都是中国人，你们都有中国人的良心，你们都受这个暴政的压制迫害，你们不能再做奴才、做狗、做牛，不能这样。所有的清醒的、所有的中国人都是我们的力量。我们的故乡被奴役了，被马列邪教奴役了。这个暴政的危害，它不是对哪一个人的危害，它是对一个民族的危害，对人类的危害。暴政是人类的公敌，怎么可能让它继续啊？今天病毒的危害、病毒的猖獗与暴政同行，病毒的根源是暴政。
Someone replied, Fang Bin was disappeared by Chinese police force on February 9th of 2020 for recording hospital scenes during the Wuhan COVID outbreak, and even till today, it's not even clear whether he is still alive or not. Fang Bin is not a scholar or lawyer. He did not get the attention he deserved from the public. He is just an ordinary person, but he is a hero because he dared to say things that other people did not. And he did things that other people did not dare to. The world should pay attention to Fang Bin. Someone replied, based on what I know, Fang Bin truly deserved to be called a hero. Perhaps it is not widely known that he came back to Wuhan all the way from America during the initial outbreak, just to cheer on for the ordinary Chinese people in Wuhan. Someone shared that the founder of Foundation for Liberty and American Greatness, also known as FLAG, Nick Adams, once said, if you live in America, you've won the lottery of life. He recently tweeted, accepting Joe Biden is equivalent to telling your children that it is okay to lie, plagiarize, and steal. The American tradition is founded on common sense and honesty. A Chinese dissident shared this picture from a recent pro-Trump rally. He said, the lady in the picture was standing next to me during the rally. We then started a conversation. She asked me, where are you from? I said, China. She appeared somewhat surprised upon seeing that a Chinese person attended a pro-Trump rally. I said, we came here to fight for Trump because we don't want our daughter to do the same in the future. And if we don't come out, perhaps in the future, she will not even have an opportunity to. We escaped communist China and settled in the US. We don't want to escape again. Someone commented, I was reminded of Hong Kongers. The people in Hong Kong fled communist China over the past few generations, but now the young generations would have to flee again. Someone commented, the young protesters in Hong Kong have already proved, using their blood and tears, that if their parents chose to compromise, then the consequence would be that their children may lose their life. Someone shared that a new book titled Irreversible Damage, The Transgender Craze Seducing Our Daughters, published by a Wall Street Journal columnist, has been boycotted. According to the book's introduction, quote, today whole groups of female friends in colleges, high schools, and even middle schools across the country are coming out as transgender. These are girls who had never experienced any discomfort in their biological sex until they heard a coming out story from a speaker at a school assembly or discovered the internet community of trans influencers. Unsuspecting parents are awakening to find their daughters in thrall to hate trans YouTube stars and gender-affirming educators who push life-changing interventions on young girls. Coming out as transgender immediately boosts these girls' social status, but once they take the first steps of transition, it is not easy to walk back. The author felt that a generation of girls is at risk. She hopes to help the public better understand what the trans craze is and how parents in particular can retrieve their daughters from this very dangerous path. Someone shared this video clip from a speech that President Trump gave regarding religious freedom.
will always support and defend your religious liberty. We don't want to see God forced out of the public square, driven out of our schools, or pushed out of our civic life. We want to see prayers before football games if they want to give prayers. We want all children to have the opportunity to know the blessings of God. We will not allow the government to censor sermons, to restrict the free speech of our pastors and our preachers and the people that we most respect, like Robert. That is why, just as I promised Pastor Jeffress and other faith leaders, I just signed an executive order following, and this is something that makes me very happy and very proud, following through on my campaign pledge to stop the Johnson Amendment from interfering with your First Amendment rights. As long as I am president, no one is going to stop you from practicing your faith or from preaching what is in your heart.
Someone shared that President Trump not only defends the religious freedom of Americans, he also advocates for religious freedom around the world.
I'm a Falun Gong practitioner. My husband now is still in prison. Under the forced organ harvesting still exists.
Someone shared that in the face of tyranny and dictatorship, if you can't be at the front line, please at least follow the crowd. If you don't want to follow the crowd, please help cheer on those who are. If you cannot cheer these people on, please at least share those information online. If you still feel fearful of doing so, please at least do not criticize and laugh at those people who are fighting on the front line for freedom. You never know how damaging your ignorance may be. Someone commented, "Now is the time that every single one of us is standing and waiting to be chosen by God. None of us can ever escape. Not making a choice is, in fact, in itself, also a choice."
Child, we will take you in. Child, we will bring you home. You'll be a flower that sees the spring. Soon a dove flying high.